All right, are we live? This stupid thing. All right, there we go. We are live. Thanks for watching another episode of the Reviewers Queue. I am Matt, wearing another tank top tonight, and everybody's gonna make fun of me for it again. But
Yeah.
tonight we have a pretty interesting show. We're gonna talk about what happened with Hyon and Ivogo. We have some of the reviewers on that got some of the cease and desist orders. Before that, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody in California. From what I just heard, SB 140 did get killed, which is awesome. Also, some other good news federally, where the Democrats tried to stop the whole grandfather date thing, but they didn't. Succeed. So it's been a good day for vaping, which put me in a good mood. It's better than all the drama that's been going on lately.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not drama. It's not drama at all. It's
Well,
just a friendly
news,
disagreement.
whatever we want to call it, news. So we'll go through and introduce everybody. Richard, you're new to the show. You've never been on before,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you've never been on. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody about your channel and what you're vaping on.
All right. Hi, everybody. This is Richard, and I'm from Malaysia, basically in Kuala Lumpur, and I have a YouTube channel, which was initially called Vapor Friends, as you all know, because I coined up the name because I just wanted to go on YouTube, be friends, show off gear to you. I'm no expert, definitely. But somehow the name Richard and sort of like stuck onto everybody instead of Vapor Friends. But yeah, it's been a great vape journey for me. I'm learning a lot of new things, learning things from people like Robert, Matt, Vic, and everybody, even yourselves. And I really appreciate the friendship that you guys are giving me. Really nice. And right now I'm vaping on my Cloudpore Mini. Just going back old school with my K-Fun Lite and some, I think I'm vaping on, I can't find it, a 12 mil.
Oh no, really?
Did he cut out?
No.
No, Richard, no, come back. You're so nice.
Richard.
I'm sure he'll come back. And he'll apologize about it, of course. Robert, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Robert the Arm Vapor. Yes, Robert Ellis. Come on, you people know who the hell I am. I've been doing this for a little while, right? YouTube, live shows on VU Live, and also on Evo. What am I vaping? Well, of course, for this show, I have to at least be vaping on the Evil Monk.
Don't sue me, bro.
Oh, the Evil Monk. Oh my God! But you know, I got a bunch of
Don't say
rigs
that
here.
too many times in the show. We don't need too many. We don't need more drama that you guys got.
But, you know, I got a Jenny going on here, my Provari 3, a bunch of other stuff over here, which you guys figure it out as I vape it during the night. Dick!
Vic, you're up next, buddy.
Hi. I'm probably the person that uploaded the video that started the whole drama fest. I'm Vic. I'm in Scotland, in case you can't tell from the accent. I've been running the Vaping with Vic channel for about a year and a half. I am also using the thing that must not be named. Don't sue me, bro! On the eVic VT, I've got it running dual coil. And temperature control mode, yeah, I done it in temp control mode. And yeah, you can find me at Vaping with Vic on YouTube. And that's basically it.
Well,
So,
you can.
you
What
heard it
about
here,
your live
guys.
shows, Vic?
The two reviewer convicts here that are soon to be in jail are still using their evil monks.
You're damn right.
Vic, nice to see you back. You froze out a little bit. So we'll just jump into it. I made a video where I tried to explain everything that happened, but how about Vic? Why don't you try to explain everything? Just kind of the timeline of how this went down with your, at least with your channel, and the back and forth you've had.
Okay, and they picked a weird date to do this. It was on July 4th. It was Independence Day over in the United States. I was sitting back. I had no intention of making a video because no one's going to watch because it's July 4th. In the morning of July 4th, I got it was those usual, if you're a reviewer, you'll know what I mean. It's those usual YouTube emails that you get. Hi, this is such and such from YouTube. Someone's complained about a video. You've got 48 hours, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I've said this to Robert. This is the 8th or 9th time that a company has sent some kind of takedown notice for one of my reviews. They seem to like picking on me, probably because I'm a bastard, that's probably why. But they seem to like picking on me. But the one difference, normally when something like this happens, I just say, go fuck yourself, delete all the emails and ignore it. But this time, they had actually listed all the other reviewers they were attacking at the same time. And it was the first time this had happened. And I was like, really? They're picking on Richard, the happiest reviewer alive. Really? They're picking on Richard.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you know what? It wasn't just Richard. There was the beard. I can never remember his name. The bearded bloke. There was a bloke down south in England.
Vigilante.
That's him. Vaping Vigilante as well. And I went, you know what? This kind of crap has been going on for too fucking long. It's patent trolling. That's essentially what the whole bloody thing is. A company runs out, grabs a patent, claims it as their own, then goes to reviewers, whether it be hardware reviews for computers, whether it be vaping reviews for vaping, and they say, we own this, take down your video, that's a competitor product. And I went, you know what, not this time. So I put that video up, the original one, which lasted for 5 minutes. Got about 7,000 views now, ended up on Reddit, ended up on the Facebook groups, and then the whole...
You're talking, okay, your first video, you're talking about the one where that's what you term as a dessert?
Yeah, that's okay, the entree. That's the entree, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's when it went boom. And I wasn't expecting it to blow up as much as it did. But it did. The video ended up on Reddit. I think Candy actually posted that Reddit thread. It ended up in a whole load of Facebook groups. And then it just started to snowball. And then I got contacted from Richard, and not just from Richard, from the other reviewers who took down their video, which was another reason I stepped in and got involved. Because here's the thing. This is to all the reviewers out there. You only need to listen to YouTube. Do not take any kind of bullying from any kind of company with any kind of threat, because there is 2 words that cover us reviewers under US law, and YouTube's a US company: fair use. That covers us. Covers us. That's why reviewers can do an absolutely crap review, and it's within their right to put that video up, because we're reviewers, we're not advertisers. So Richard put his video back up, the Vigilante put his video back up, and then a whole load of other people put their videos up, and this thing started snowballing. And then this is going into like Saturday and Sunday now, getting close to where we are now. Matt put his video up, right? And round about the same time Matt was putting his video up, I was getting contacted from smaller YouTube reviewers who were still being pressured by Hyon to take down their videos, while at the same time Fernando Solis, the batshit insane schizophrenic moron that actually runs Hyon, was sitting there saying to Matt, I'm sorry, we shouldn't have done this, while he's still doing it. So that's when I put the second video up, which was the main course and dessert. And that kind of leads us to where we are now. There's loads of stuff that happened in between, like 30 billion people going out to buy a Evil Monk and putting loads and loads of reviews up, and their Facebook page getting absolutely hammered by people telling them they should go bankrupt, but that's another thing. Yeah. But yeah, that's the basic timeline. The basic timeline.
A backstory to the people, if people don't know how it started. The Hyon is manufacturing a postless decked RDA, and they claim it's the first. Well, it's the first RDA. It's not the first rebuildable tank to use a postless system, or rebuildable in general. And so they had this pictures of this. I guess they had big cards of it, and I remember it now. Up at the summit, Vape Summit, and then they said that Ivogo saw that, and then a couple days later came out with their whatever postless RDA thing. Which this happens a lot. Just no one ever really makes a big stink about it when it's something that's different enough. You know, the airflow is completely different. It obviously looks different. So, you know, an argument can be made that even if there was a patent on it, it might be different enough to, you know, scoot by that. But anyway, you know, Hyon got upset and decided that they weren't going to, you know, put up with cloners anymore. You know, the guy even told me, like, if it was an American company, he probably wouldn't have. The same thing probably wouldn't have happened. I mean, he didn't say that out. Like, that's just kind of the way he hinted. Like, because that's what I was trying to get out of him. So Ivogo. So what Hyon did, they played dirty. They tried to trademark the Evil Monk name before the Evil Monk could get into the States, and they trademarked the Ivogo name, which is one of the dirtiest parts about it, because you know Ivogo's been in business in the States for a while. Well, practicing business, whatever you want to call it. They don't have it trademarked in the States though, and probably don't have a license. But so anyway. Where they really crossed the line, though, is they sent cease and desist to reviewers, and I'm sure this was definitely coached by a bunch of dumb lawyers that don't understand the vape community at all. And he apparently has PR people too, and I'm just thinking, like, you have PR people and they were cool with this? It just, wow. Anyway, Robert, what are your thoughts?
I mean, okay, bottom line, what was chapping my ass was the fact they were going after reviewers, which was like, this is insane. The issues as far as doing patent trolling and trademark trolling, I mean, corporations do this day in and day out. They do this kind of shit. It's it's not uncommon, but it just shows you, you know, how much over to the scumbaggery meter they went. But that's just normal bullshit that companies have to deal with in and out. And, you know, it's like, okay, that's between, hey, you want to pull them in courts? Fine. The other thing that really did bug me is threatening people, stating you had patents and you had trademarks, when, wait a second, you may have patent pending, which means you still don't have the right to do anything yet because you don't actually own the patent. Trademarks also have a pending period where they're not enforceable, and a trademark is...
I talked to a guy that's a vapor, and he's a lawyer, and he said with trademarks you can technically, in the States, I don't know how it is at other places, but legally you can go after someone if your trademark's just pending.
Just pending? Okay.
Whether or not that's true or not, I have no idea. Obviously, it probably is a little bit harder to prove because then you have to prove it.
But yeah, well, certainly with trademarks, trademarks are different in that you have to actively defend your trademark. So you got to go balls to the wall to defend your own trademark. Whereas with a patent, it's a matter of like, he said, she said, let's get into court and let's duke it out, and we'll figure out who got it first. You know, but you know, also the state that, hey, a U.S. invented? Wait a minute. Wait a second. You guys didn't invent this. You may file a patent for it, but you guys didn't friggin' invent it. So, you know, those little things. But I have a point I want to bring up. I don't know if this is the proper time frame to bring it up in or not. I can just approach the topic and we can move that to the side table. And I can't take credit for this idea. All right, this idea came. It was spurned because of Old Sarge. So anybody who's used to watching Vic or myself knows on you know Vapors.tv, knows who's Old Sarge. You know who he is, and he put a comment under my video of the Ivogo that you know here's two companies that you know he basically insinuating without saying. Have we all been snookered? Have we been snookered in that this was a conceived plot to bring Hyon back into the forefront of people's consciousness? You know, you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
have we been duped into this or what? I just kind of throw that out
Every
there.
time there's drama like this, you have people that feel bad for the company. The same thing happened to Amerivape. Amerivape claims, I don't know if it's true or not, that after the drama happened with Todd, after there was drama with Twisted 420, they claim their sales went through the roof. So it's a tough situation. That's kind of why, like, if they wouldn't have involved the reviewers, it probably would have just been better for all of us to just ignore it and let them both duke it out and be dirty with each other.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have known.
Yeah, you're right. That's totally true. And that's, I had a long conversation with him, and that's what I told him. And, I told the guy, I was like, if I was your PR person, knowing the way this community is, and you're so certain that your product is so much better than the Evil Monk, I would have gotten my product, the Pi Squared, into the hands of every person that reviewed the Evil Monk, along with other reviewers, and have everybody say, oh, wow, this is way nicer than that Evil Monk thing, Instead, all he did, what he did was so counterproductive. He made just thousands of sales for Ivogo. I mean, how would you not know that? The minute Richard messaged me about that, I just knew, like, it's going to fucking blow up on him. Like, you just know it. How would he not know that? But, yeah, Richard, what was your situation with it? You got because you originally took your video down, right?
Yeah, because initially I was got a bit worried, and when I got the letters and all that, like Vic said, it was like every he wanted to trademark the Ivogo logo and everything, and so I got worried. I saw YouTube's logo was on it and all that, so I thought YouTube might just ban or X the channel, so I was worried, and it just took down the video first, and then I messaged you and asked you what should I do, but in a way I also was a little bit conscious that there's not very much you can do because I was from Malaysia, so from another country, so that was it. But deep down I was thinking to myself, what did I do wrong? I just reviewed a product,
Right.
I mean, like Matt said, what business problems that you have with Ivogo, go sort it out among yourself and don't take it out on reviewers, because what we're doing is just basically reviewing a product, and that's it. And I didn't ask for the product was sent to me.
And nobody should mess with Mr. Smile.
Well, exactly. You fuck with poor Richard froze again.
Oh.
But look at it. Wait, let's go on. Look at that friendly. Where are you at? No, it's not going on him. I've tried to center on his face. He's such a friendly guy. Don't you want to just hug him?
Yeah, I mean, the little sweetheart, the darling of our review community. It's like, I mean, the guy. It's like, how can you not watch one of his reviews and not crack a smile?
He's always happy.
If you're ever in a bad mood, you go to one of his videos.
Even if he's reviewing something bad, he still says it's crap with a smile on his face.
It's. I had conversations with quite a few people that are fairly YouTube savvy about this. A lot of people reached out, some different YouTubers in the gaming community, because apparently situations like this happen a lot in the gaming community.
Yeah,
what happens there is that those guys always show games on their videos, right? And they, like the game companies will let them. But then if a guy does a review on a game and he hates it and starts making fun of it, then all of a sudden they go after that gamer. And so there's constant drama like this, but there's not a lot of precedent for it, ever going to court or anything. In YouTube, from what I've researched, YouTube's going to stay out of this one. They're not going to make any of you guys take your videos down, and so they generally stay out of trademark things unless it's just blatant, like completely blatant. They'll stay out of trademark fights. And so what's interesting is, like, what's going to happen? Is this guy's really going to still go after you guys? Part of me almost wants him to, just to see what's going to happen, just so I could be popping popcorn here on the sidelines and watching Vic versus Hyon. It's going to be great.
Yes. Here's the thing, Matt. I used to work for Google, right? And a lot of people know this. I was working for Google during the takeover of YouTube. When YouTube merged, that's when I left the job. But the way that Google looks at things, especially when it comes to patents and trademarks, and this is the 8th or 9th time. I think it's the 8th, but there's someone in the back, the little angry ranty man at the back of my head is saying 9th. I think it's the 8th. And YouTube have never taken down one of my videos. Never. And one of those C&D cases was actually, and I showed this to Robert. Robert probably remembers this. It was actually for this little fella. Mm-hmm. It was the Phoenix. And when I put the review for this up, a company in the US did contact me saying, it was an e-cig company saying, take that down, we've got the patent and trademark and blah, 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 blah. And they actually did have the patent of the logo, a logo that looked very similar to this, but they didn't have the trademark. Now, under general rules, they would have had a right if YouTube had taken the video down. The fact is, YouTube didn't take the video down. Google, as a company, have so many lawyers looking at every single issue on YouTube. If there was a problem, they would have taken every single one of those 8 or 9 videos that I had a complaint against me about down. The fact is, they haven't taken the Evil Monk video down. They haven't taken the Phoenix videos down. They like to sit back and wait. But the problem, the one thing that was annoying me, right, while I was watching Richard take his video down and Vigilante take his video down and the other reviewer with another beard in England take his video down, is I was thinking to myself, what if this makes a precedent? Because YouTube watches stuff like this going on, right? Yeah. And if reviewers willingly take their video down, even if they are legally obliged to keep the video up, then YouTube will start to take that precedent and start to take videos down. That's one of the major reasons I originally made that first video, to stop it in its tracks.
Yeah, it's totally true. They look for precedents and stuff like this, and like that's why I said it would almost be interesting if they still went after you, Vic, because I just would want to see like what would happen. I don't think they'd win. I'm not wishing bad on you, but I just kind of want to see what would happen because there's not a lot of precedent for it.
It's done.
So I like I said, I talked to the guy for a long time, and a few times even after that video, because like the stuff where he had said to me, he kind of wishes he would have done it differently, and then he was still doing it, obviously. Yep. And in my mind, what I took from it, and maybe I'm way off base, but this is a guy that's, he's a normal family man, middle upper class or whatever, that's got lawyers that are just fucking making him make the biggest mistakes ever. I think he's kind of an asshole himself. Don't get me wrong. And I told him that. Like we argued. I think
Vic has something to prove that.
Yeah, I mean we argued back and forth like in a fairly calm way, but like we didn't. It was an ongoing argument. And he's stubborn, and I'm stubborn. But this guy's got a team of lawyers because he's got another company, so they've been lawyers for him in the past, and he's had to use them on another situation with his other company, I guess. And they don't know jack shit about how the vaping world works and how the community works. Bottom line is that most vapors don't watch YouTube and whatever. A lot of vapors just start with Generation 1, Generation 2 stuff, and they never get into like the hobbyist side of it. But Hyon is selling hobbyist gear. They're selling high-end hobbyist gear, and so their market is the online market. The people that watch the videos, the people that spend hundreds of dollars on shit, on like $200 on a mech mod. So I mean, he kind of thinks, well, majority of vapors aren't even online, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. But majority of vapors that buy your type of product do hang out online and are going to see what's going on. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how it all pans out and if it hurts them. Another dynamic to it is the fact that the Pi Squared wasn't his design. It was another company they partnered with.
Yeah, House of Zombie.
Yeah, and that guy has kept pretty quiet. I messaged with him once on Instagram, and you know, he was upset about another company coming to market with his design before he did. But he said, you know, I don't for one second think that no one's ever going to bring out a postless RDA. They just kind of felt like the way Ivogo did it, where they went, like, they said they remember the Ivogo people. They even asked them to take the literature because they had these cards with their designs on them, or like, you know, just pictures of the Addy on it. And you know, then 2 days later they come up with their own Addy, and they're saying, and Ivogo said, we're making the first non-post RDA. They said non-post, they didn't say postless. And so, you know, that got their back up, and then it's, you know, two people going at it and whatever. And that, like I said, if it would have stopped there, then I would have been fine with it. But because they involved you guys, it's just...
And that's that's really why this show is on, is because they come after the reviewers. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. It's just stupid. And that's why, you know,
counterproductive.
yeah, and that's why I keep coming back to that. Did we get played in this? You know, was this something for these companies to bring themselves in the forefront, create the controversy, create all this buzz so that, you know, there they are. So hopefully, you know, despite bad press, and, you know, the old saying, there is no such thing as bad press, right? You know, it's a win-win all the way around.
So, like, Vic, at first, was he trying to be nice to you? Like, did he offer to send you offer to, like, send you his products or something, or like try to?
No, he was an absolute dick from the get-go. Yeah, I mean, he was just bad. I mean, the second video, I couldn't actually show the, well, I showed the last one, but the second video, he was, you know, it's the reviewers, and it's not just the reviewers. He was even targeting Facebook groups, social networks to do with vaping, take down everything to do with Ivogo, take down everything to do with the evil monk, and as the admins of these pages and these Facebook groups were removing things and saying, sorry, Hyon. Hyon was forwarding the emails to me for me to read. Oh, look, this person's taking their video down. You should as well. Oh, look, this person's taking your video down. Then the last video came up, and I was like, oh, seriously, dude? That's one of the reasons I made the second video, just to basically give him the finger.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't... I think some people just don't understand the law, and some people don't want to, you know, he's got a strong person. Like I said, I talked to the guy on the phone. I don't think he's like an evil man, but he's obviously got a strong personality, and he, you know, talks to maybe some of these vapors that are a little bit younger than him and stuff, and they kind of, you know, oh no, please don't come after me, sir.
Quick, talk to Richard again before he crashes out.
Oh yeah, still there, Richard?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm just going back and forth. You know, the internet connection is quite bad here.
Well, you're in the future too. It's 8:30 tomorrow there, so we wouldn't expect broadcasting from the future to be super smooth.
But what I also don't understand is why would they want to trademark the name Ivogo?
Yeah,
oh boy.
That part was just to be dirty.
Yeah.
It's the only reason. The thing is that this could go back and forth. I mean, Ivogo can easily change their name.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. They can easily change the evil monk name, and so, like, where's it gonna stop? I don't know. I hope it doesn't open up this whole can of worms where companies are doing this to each other over. You know, I don't mind if they're doing it to like somebody that's a cloner that just made an exact copy of their device. Fine. You know, play dirty with them, go after them, make sure trademark it, and make sure they can't bring their product into the States or wherever. Okay, I get it, but you know, we have so many products on the market. You know, just look at all these freaking stainless steel tube mods I have in front of me. I mean, like how, you know, if a company really wants to be a douche, you know, like what could happen there? What if people start trying to patent stupid things like that?
The only thing that I see that's remotely similar between Ivogo's product and the Pi Squared is maybe the center post design.
Exactly.
You know, that's about the only things that's remotely similar. Other than that, I mean, you look at the two and you go, what's
It's
the
different.
what? Of course, this is a piece of shit out of Ivogo. Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Here it is.
The bummer is that Hyon has another Addy coming out called like the Pugio, I think it is, and it looks awesome. Looks like my type of like the postless stuff doesn't really do it for me. I mean, I haven't tried it. I got to try it, but I love underneath airflow, and they have this Addy coming out where you can move the airflow slot around underneath wherever your coil is.
Yeah, I saw that.
It looks pretty cool and innovative, but then what's going to happen when another company comes out with an Addy that's close to that?
I'll just buy it when the clone comes out. Fuck them.
Hey, they ought to send us those Addies so that we can review them.
Yeah, you think that's going to happen?
A solid look. Okay, let's kind of kiss and make up, all you guys. Richard, Vic, myself. Hey, here's the latest one. We want to get it out there first. We want you guys to review it. Let's bygones be bygones. Okay, sure. And see how it works.
Yeah, the I don't know. I guess I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's
Beat that dead horse. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's once I heard Vic was involved too, I know it was going to get really interesting.
Hey, how often do we get a source of drama that's outside of the vaping community, like, you know what I mean, and it's coming from a manufacturer that creates the drama?
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often, and when it does happen, it's a big fucking deal.
Yep.
But with the Amerivape thing, Amerivape attacked Todd because Todd said their mod was a pipe bomb. I'm not saying that's necessary. They should have attacked Todd, but Todd said something that provoked them, and they got pissed and they attacked Todd. Not saying it was right, but with this situation, they have lawyers that are telling them to go attack, every reviewer that's putting a video out. It's backfiring. There's, it's just it's spreading like fire. There's more and more Evil Monk videos coming out every day. Like, if these guys stick to their guns and don't back down, this is going to be like an ongoing thing for a while.
But do you think they have like temporarily put a halt to going after the new reviews that have gone up?
Well, they know that they don't have a leg to stand on. The only way they could actually get YouTube to actually recognize that, yes, these videos should be taken down, is if by law the trademark has went through the first administrative phase. Just like I said in that, the way trademarks work, there's usually 3 levels, right? You put the trademark in, so the bloke's there at the trademark office, okay, I've got it, it's now on the system as pending. There's 3 administrative levels normally when you're putting a trademark in under the USA, right? Once it passes the first level, which is normally 2 months in, then technically, if it passes the first level, odds are you're going to end up having that trademark. And YouTube generally wait until the first level has been passed. It hasn't been passed when it comes to Hyon.
But what does that have to do with going after people reviewing a product? Even though...
Because then technically, because YouTube is owned by Google and Google is based in the United States, they have to follow the trademark laws of the United States. But then you run into the whole fair use thing. And even if they did have the trademark, it's still one massively grey area. There has been cases where gamers have had their gaming videos pulled down because the likes of Sony or Nintendo say, we own that, we own the trademark, you can't show it. And YouTube just went straight in, pulled the video. But when it comes to reviewers, like me and you and Richard and Matt, that's a grey area because the whole fair use thing comes in, and the fair use policy in the United States is 10 times longer than the fair use policy we've got here in the UK. It's just like a huge, huge list of rules that YouTube have to follow. So
I think that whichever mathematician discovered pi in the first place, his family his whatever, his grand, whatever, should claim rights to that name and go after Hyon. That was a stupid joke.
That's actually a good point. Technically, that's a good point. It's like every 3-post decked dripper out there should end up giving a nod to the original 3-post deck dripper, which I don't have a clue what that is, but that's the kind of angle that you are going for.
A lot of I've had that argument with people, and a lot of people, we can't even figure it out. Like, I think the Phoenix, and it was like a Chinese Addy, and they had different versions, was the first 3-post, and I think that came out before the Ivogo W. But who knows? But yeah, it opens up a can of worms that could cause lots of shit in the future.
Oh yeah.
What else should we talk about? We're going to bring Grim on for a minute if his internet's working to plug VaporCon West.
Yay!
But, let's talk about the liquid stuff. Do you know, like, Robert, do you know much about what happened with 5 Ponds?
Oh God.
Oh, okay. My synopsis is, and my dating could be seriously off, but you'll get the gist of it. But 9 Clouds in the UK.
Cloud9.
Excuse me?
Cloud9.
Cloud9. Oh, okay. Whatever. Thank you. That company over in the UK that makes some juice, all right, they're one of the better companies that does send out what they resell to get tested. They did this, I forget, but it was like and they get back the results early one month. I don't know if it was early in May or early in June. I forget which one it is, but they informed 5 Ponds of this. 5 Ponds knows the results. Basically, the company, Cloud9, is it?
Yep, yeah, Cloud9.
Okay. Says, look, we're pulling all your juice, and we're not going to be selling it because the test results on it are like friggin' out of this friggin' world, right? So 5 Ponds knew about this like 3-4 weeks at least before Cloud9 decides to post the results on their website, okay? Which now is like, now the word gets out. Now the word gets out. And people start flipping out, right? Everybody's looking at these numbers going, what, are you kidding me? And it's been pulled, and all the ruckus starts. I mean, even the day after, I think, maybe even the day that it happened, I had a live show. So I told the kind of story on my live show, and I go to the cloud, because I saved the link to it. Go to pick up the link because I wanted to post a link of the results for people in chat to go and look at. And it was down. It wasn't there. It basically had, and I'm paraphrasing what it said, it basically said, basically they pulled the results down because of a cease and desist from 5 Ponds, and their lawyers advised them to pull down the results. What? I was totally shocked. It was like, I don't think it was within 24 hours that it was not there.
Yeah.
The following, maybe even that evening, it was a Tuesday evening, ClickBang, right? Russ, thank you. He spent his show going through this and bashing the crap out of him. He called he called 5 Ponds, he played the phone calls that he had, that kind of stuff. Basically went absolutely ape. You know what Russ does, right? He just went nuts on it. Yeah, right,
Some of the work he does is good, but he doesn't do it for the good of the work.
Right, yeah, he does. Hey, does it for the ratings. I get it.
Yeah.
But he at least got a hold of each individual test results that 9 Clouds had, and not only were there like exorbitant amounts of AP, okay, they had diacetyl for the most part, but extraordinary amounts of AP in them, right? And for all you people, a simple way to just like put all that together is diketones, Diketone, okay, diketones. That's like a classification of all this stuff in one. So seriously high levels of diketones in there. But not only that, The testing shows that the nicotine levels were so far off, it was insane. A 3 milligram came out to be a 2.1 milligram, okay, for nicotine. This is the kind of results that we're showing on nicotine, right? Now, also, not only that, right, all the people, and so I'm looking at these reports and I'm going, something doesn't add up right here. And I go to Five Ponds, I look at their postings as far as, what their mix ratio is, and typically it's either 50-50 or like a 60-40, something like that is their typical ratio. These reports had posted in the reports of PG levels of anywhere from 65% to like 75% EG. And
Yeah.
I'm going, how is it you can come out with a 50-50 blend if the report shows that? It's like, so all across the board, everything is off of whatever Five Ponds was putting out there.
Oh.
So Five Ponds had been lying through their teeth all this time to people saying, the juice is fine, the juice is good, no, we don't have this, no, we don't have that, we do a 50-50, we do a 40-60 or 60-40, our nicotine, they're lying through their friggin' teeth. So what do they do in their defense? Like, I think it was a Wednesday, they posted on their blog their statement as to, there's no standardized testing for e-juice, none. There's no standardized testing for e-juice. We are deeply committed to this. We are deeply involved in coming up with a standard for testing of e-juices. We will keep you apprised of all this. And then what do? They published their 2014 results of their own testing in their defense, which also showed high levels of these diketones in all their friggin' juices.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You people are nuts.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to get some shit for it, and I'm going to try not to give away too much information because some of this stuff could get me in trouble. I'm not. Five Ponds did. I believe they lied. There's no excuse for that. They said that they didn't have diacetyl in their juice, and I think even diacetyl showed up, not just AP, but they had diketones in their liquid.
Right.
Now, in the last couple of weeks, I've talked to multiple different juice companies. Well, first off, I'll get to that in 1 second. Five Ponds pissed some people off in the community. All right.
Think?
This before this happened, right? Russ doesn't just all of a sudden spin a big lottery thing and say, oh, Five Ponds, ding ding ding. There's reasons why he picks the companies he does. In my opinion, and in my educated opinion, he gets coached by people to do it. That's as much as I'm going to say about Russ. But there's drama going on in the advocacy community right now. There's people butting heads, and people are trying to smash and bring down other people. And part of that, in my opinion, was because of what's going on behind the scenes. But I have talked to multiple different juice vendors lately that have been testing these labs. And they've been doing things like sending multiple batches of, making one batch of liquid, breaking it up into 3 different parts, sending it in from different addresses with different credit cards. None of them ever come back the same. So with the standardized testing part is true. Doesn't mean that Five Ponds is innocent. They still have shit in their juice that they said they didn't have. But we need to get the test straight. And a lot of these labs, the way their systems the way they're testing is it's kind of a new way of doing it. And I think some of them were kind of told by, like, Dr. F has been told about the inconsistencies. He's not wanting to speak on it. But anyway, that's as far as I'm going to go on this right now, because I think it's going to be major drama a couple months from now. Is going to be people talking about these labs and how inconsistent they are and how...
well, a new one in Nevada just popped up where, these tests can cost some buku dollars, okay? $150 to $500 to have send in a 30 mil to have tested, right, for various different things. And a lab just popped up in friggin' Nevada that will test your juice for $60 for the diketones, your nicotine, and a few other things. But yeah, I will concede that we need to get a handle on what governs these tests. I mean, are we using a gas? What the hell's the name is? You know what I'm talking about. So what are we using for these tests? How are they actually being, performed under what kind of conditions? And really, it's like, and we need to standardize as to, what is represented on this test so people can actually understand it. So if something has, if it comes back and says, I have 10 parts per million diacetyl, it's like, am I going to shiver in my boots over that? No.
Nah.
If it comes back and says, yeah, I got 800 parts per million, am I going to, look, I could give a rat's ass personally. Okay, people, this is just me, all right? I don't give a rat's ass if it has diacetyl in it or not. I'm going to vape it, all right? But that's my choice, all right? I just want to know. That's all. That's all. And it's gonna come to the day where if I'm gonna be doing a review, you got to have paper to back up what you have.
Yeah. From what I have heard is that it's not as simple as the way they're doing these tests. It's not as simple as just putting it into a machine and then
gas chronometer or something like that.
Get them readings. They have to read, a graph and a printout, and there's a lot of human error that could be involved in that. Somebody said, why isn't everybody just sending all their stuff to the same lab? But that was the same lab. The same labs were taking the same juice and giving different results every time. The same batch and giving different results. So I don't know.
That's a company not to use. That's for sure.
It's going to be interesting.
How often? It just takes something. Here's an analogy. Nobody likes to get stopped for speeding. Okay, and how do we get stopped? There's a radar gun. All right. How do you beat a speeding ticket? Well, you start going after your lawyer starts submitting, whatever he needs to do to get. Hey, how often has this thing been calibrated? When was the last time it was calibrated? Has the officer been trained properly in the use of this gun or what? That's the procedures they go through to beat speeding tickets, and they're all perfectly legitimate. I mean, it's true. We got to come up with acceptable standards. Yeah. Especially if the FDA is involved in saying, you guys got to send this all in to get tested and crap before you can put it back on the market. Okay, yeah. Who's certified in this?
Hopefully the FDA, if the FDA does do something like that, it's gonna be an interesting couple of years. That's all I can say. With that, along with the temperature control thing right now, and everybody becoming sure of wire.
Control.
Well, no one's sure about. Is nickel wire okay? Is titanium wire okay?
Don't dry burn your titanium wire.
Vic, how come you guys don't ever have this shit in the UK? You guys just vape your buttery custards and you like them, and you don't give a fuck how much diacetyl.
Because diacetyl tastes good. Go fuck yourself.
There you go.
It's so true. I mean, that's what some people don't get is that just about every liquid on the market that has any kind of buttery, creamy taste has some of
vanillas,
those.
Buttery, all these things. Go ahead. And anybody who's purchased one of these products and then buys a reformulated from the same company. If you compare the two, it's like, what the hell do they do? It's just not the same thing. You don't have the same richness, the same mouthfeel, and all this other stuff. It's like, but people have the right to know what's in their stuff.
True.
And make the decision for themselves. And those that don't want these icky things, fine. That's cool.
Once we have standardized testing, I'm all for people having to put the amounts of those chemicals on the bottle, like to be in the transparent about it. I think that makes sense.
Is there enough room on the label?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, God forbid, what's the FDA going to require them to put on the friggin' label? I mean, I think we've already run out of room. You know what I mean? I mean, my logo will go down to like, oh, wait a minute, we're going to take your logo out now. I'm sorry, we got to put in there FDA approved or whatever. Who the hell knows?
Well, Nick, if you're watching, I just sent you the link to the Hangout on your Facebook and Facebook messages. So don't ignore me like you do everyone else.
Actually, that's right. I said hello to Nick once.
He's better at getting back to people than any of us other reviewers are.
I did say hello to Nick once and I never got a reply.
Nick does a superb job.
Yeah, he does awesome.
But I mean,
while we're waiting, Richard, tell us about. I mean, we're just talking about everything now. Tell us about Malaysia and what's the vaping scene like there, and is there much for regulation there right now? I think he froze again.
Yeah, he did.
No.
Poor Richard.
We need to bring that guy to the States for a vape event.
We need a hardline connection from the States to him. Oh, okay, talk to him now.
You there, buddy?
There you are.
Yeah, I'm back.
So what's the vape scene like in Malaysia? Do you guys have much regulation there right now?
Yeah, that's a good thing. We're a bit luckier than you guys in the States. I know there's a lot of things happening there, with vaping and all that. But here, it's a little bit more relaxed. You get a lot of new vape shops coming up and all that, and I think the government knows that there's some good in this.
Bye, Richard.
No. Yes.
Steven is giving me shit for ignoring people. Steven, multiple people messaged me on the chat during the show, and I am not gifted enough to handle.
Oh, I don't even have the chat up to even look at it.
I look.
Nick's in the room.
There's Nick's in. What's up, buddy?
All right. So where was I?
Richard's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, guys. So the vape scene here in Malaysia is pretty relaxed and it's good, but the problem here is people vaping responsibly. If they don't vape responsibly, it's going to screw things up, and the government, that's where they come in and try to pin you down. Because, like we had a vape con earlier this year, and it was very, very successful. But the problem is because it was just situated next to a shopping center, so these guys went into the shopping center and started blowing clouds.
Oh dear.
Well, we got the gist.
Nick, where are you at right now?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
He's in a hotel room.
Yeah, I'm in a hotel room. Obviously,
Like what city?
It's in Bishop, California. So the drive from San Diego to Reno is like a little over 10 hours, and I didn't feel like doing it in one shot, so I drove halfway today and got a hotel, and then I'm going to drive the rest of the way tomorrow, just so I can get there earlier on Thursday for people getting in and stuff like that. Because I have to be there all of the day Thursday to deal with people setting up and Freeman coming in to set up the pipe and drape, so I wanted to get there early.
So if you were in Bishop, California right now, stop at the couple motels you have and go hang out with Nick.
Yeah, if you're in Bishop, California right now, there's a Sweet
12
across the street. I think that's where I'm going to eat dinner.
Hi, Nick. It's good to see you.
Okay, he's unfrozen.
Oh, there's two potatoes going on now. So with VaporCon West, you want to give it a little plug. It's going on at where it's going on. Any cool things you're doing? You're doing some stuff with Not Blowing Smoke, right?
Yeah, we're doing a big raffle for Not Blowing Smoke. I think it's actually 2 raffles now. The Northern Nevada Vapors, so Brandon and John Denver, if you've seen them online, they're the ones setting that up. We're doing 2 big raffles for 2 ECC edition, like gold-plated King mods. Not Blowing Smoke is going to be there again, obviously, and now VapeCon West is the official after party of the death of SB 140 in California. So it's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about it. VaporCon West is going to be really fun. It's a very old school Vape Meet. It's not a trade show. It's just vendors and consumers and vapors and a lot of fun. And it's in an amazing casino. If you've been to the Peppermill before, you know how rad it is. It's a super cool casino resort. Lots of bars. They let you vape most everywhere except for some restaurants. But it's rad, and I hope that people show up and have fun.
Yeah, last year was awesome. You're staying in the hotel where the event is. You don't have to drive anywhere. There's bars everywhere. You can vape everywhere. There's a nice pool. It was a good time for sure. It's going to be a little bit bigger this year too, isn't it?
Yeah, they were in a little bit bigger of a room. Last year, I think we have 10 more vendors. Last year we had 29 vendors, 30 vendors, and this year we have about 40. And that includes some advocacy like the Vaping Militia is going to be there and Not Blowing Smoke's going to be there as well. But yeah, we have a bunch of vendors. It's in a little bit bigger of a room. It's right up the escalator from the main casino, so I'm hoping that a lot of smokers in the casino that you see will maybe make their way up there. We've had a whole bunch of starter kits donated for people who aren't vapors who want to come up to the event. It's free to attend, and if you're a smoker and you walk in, you get a starter kit, and it's cool. It should be really fun.
How many people do you expect to attend?
I think last year, it's a smaller event. Last year we only had about, I don't know, maybe 12 or 1,300 people over the course of the days.
Okay.
It still seemed busy though, you know, because I liked the way it was set up last year. You could talk to people. There was still some cool booths there, but I mean that room was, you know, it was still seemed like it didn't seem dead ever. Some of these events they have them in way too big of a place, and then it just like it was too spread out. So yeah, if anybody lives in Reno or you know people that live in Reno, tell them to come by. It's going to be a good time, and you can see me at the pool again with my shirt off.
Yeah.
And Grim and Ruby.
Yeah, but do you swim without a hat?
Yeah. I wear a swim cap, duh.
Oh.
I wear a swim cap, duh.
Got it. Yeah, my head. That's one thing about going bald, man. You have to worry about your head burning now.
Toasty.
Not good. Nick, do you know? Well, you were driving all day, so you might not. I don't know shit about what happened with SB 140, except for that Stefan told me it was killed.
Yeah, evidently, what I've gathered so far from social media is that the creator of SB 140, Senator Mark Leno, basically killed it himself. He officially announced and pulled his support for SB 140, which left it dead on the floor.
Huh.
Afterwards, like, he got up, made a big speech, all the vapors were there in force, and they were allowed to speak, and then after that, he kind of went, okay, forget it then.
I wonder, just to save himself the embarrassment, he kind of knew that it was going to lose.
Yeah, I think he thought that nobody cared, and that he could like sneak it in under the radar. But the problem is, California has an F-ton of vapors, and they all showed up.
Yeah, I mean that's and you know not belong. You know, Stefan's there. They have a good support base there.
Yeah,
for sure.
There are a lot of them.
Last question: is the bed in that motel room? Does it vibrate?
Oh God!
I haven't tested out the bed yet. If it does vibrate, I'm going to turn it on while I eat Kentucky Fried Chicken and watch softcore porn. So
you got to try it. I stayed in a motel one time that had a vibrating bed, and it was.
We don't want to know, Matt.
No, it wasn't enjoyable. I mean, I didn't do anything with anyone. But I mean, you got to try it.
Yeah.
Well, I turn mine on every night.
Oh God!
I do. I do. My bed, you know, we have, you know, our articulating bed, right? and with vibration installed in it. So, and the wife has her side, I have my side, and when I go to bed, I turn on both vibrators on it, and set it for 30 minutes, and I do that every night.
Do you pop a little blue pill first?
No,
Oh,
no.
I'm
It helps with my back and helps me get to sleep.
Well, yeah, you have like a nice bed that actually does good like massaging.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
old hotel
Set it
beds,
to do waves
they're
and stuff.
rigid and they just shake back and forth like this.
The old quarter ones, yeah. When I was a kid, we used to pop quarters into them when we were, traveling. But it's not like
Sounds sexy. Well, this is a Best Western. Kind of a classy place.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I just imagined a small California town having a motel.
But I do
with vibrating beds.
I do see something crawling along the. Oh, there! Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, this is. I told you, right? This is a classy Best Western, man. It's nice.
Best Westerns are like a shot in the dark as to what it's going to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of them are decent. My parents like Best Westerns.
And Bishop
But
is
yeah,
a small town. I had a choice of this or the Motel 6 next door. Motel 6 has like 1-star ratings, and this has 5-star ratings. So
Yeah, go for the 5. Yeah.
lots of meth going on in them. Well, like we have a Motel 6 here, and people always get busted there for meth.
yeah, I could smell meth when I drove by the Motel 6. So.
Oh dear.
But I mean, wouldn't hurt to get some before this event. You're gonna be a grueling. No, anyway, that's a stupid joke. I don't even know why I'm going there. Because then people are gonna be like, Matt and Grim do meth. No, I've never. Done that. We'd be a lot skinnier.
Yeah, I'd be a lot skinnier.
I guess we should probably go.
Yeah.
Unless you guys want to rant about anything else. Thanks to all you guys. Richard, it was awesome having you on. Sorry you had some internet problems, buddy.
Yeah.
You are officially the nicest man in vaping. Well, Nick is close, but
Hi, Nick.
Richard's got that smile. It makes you want to smile back.
We can be a team. Richard, me and you, we can be a team.
Yeah, you guys can have the. You can be co-nicest guys. Robert, thanks for coming on. Robert and Vic will definitely never get that award.
There's no fucking hope in hell of me getting. Oh, he's a nice reviewer award. Maybe he's a bastard award. That would probably suit me. Although Robert might get that first, and I might come in second.
You'll get the Dirty Rat Bastard award.
They should have, in the awards this year. They should have stuff like that. The vaping awards. I forget what they're called.
By the way, I would like to remind people, if you're not going to the convention that Nick's in and you're in the UK, Vapor Expo is on this weekend, Birmingham NEC. I won't be there. I just thought I'd mention it for all you people in the UK.
Oh, cool. You guys have Vape Fest there or something coming up soon, too.
Yeah, it's the one where we're all outside in a muddy field under tents with the rain pissing down. Apparently it's fun.
Oh, I'd love to come over there for one. That's the cool thing about your events is there's actually like modders that are selling good, hard-to-get gear. That shit never happens here.
When you go to a UK convention or a UK expo, make sure you bring a lot of money.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks to all you gentlemen for coming on. It's been a good time. And we will see everybody 2 weeks from now. We're doing this every other week. So we're not going to be here next week, but we'll be here the week after. Have a great rest of your evening.